I'm sure many of you around the world are wondering what's going on in Lebanon and why a handful of MPs yesterday decided to stage a sit-in at the Lebanese parliament. Although I'm still in Australia and heading back to Beirut next week, I didn't think this could wait. So what happened and is happening? Yesterday, on Thursday the 19th of January, Parliament again failed to elect a new president as Lebanon continues to suffer from its first ever total executive vacuum, despite 110 out of the 128 MPs being present for the vote. None of the proposed candidates received the mandatory 86 votes required in the first round of voting to win. The presidency has been vacant since October 31st, 2022, when former President Michel Aoun vacated the seat after his term ended. Since then, 11 sessions to elect a president have been held, but to no avail. The reformist Change MPs, among others, have consistently called on the Speaker, Nabi Berri, to allow a second consecutive round of voting to be held to break the deadlock. However, Berri, no doubt in cooperation with Hezbollah and the Free Patriotic Movement, has refused to hold a second round so as to block any possibility of a candidate that is not endorsed by their bloc from being elected. So how could a second round of voting hasten the election of a president? Well, according to the Lebanese constitution, if a second round or successive rounds of voting are held during the same session, a candidate would only require a simple majority of 65 votes to win. And the reformists and other members of parliament believe if the threshold is reduced to 65, there is more chance of other MPs being willing to support the leading candidate and shift the country out of its current political crisis and circumvent a power void, thereby allowing the country to return to a semblance of proper governance and enable a new cabinet to be formed, as the caretaker government of Prime Minister Najib Mikati is currently unable to function effectively while this stalemate continues. So yesterday, Change MPs Milham Khalaf, Dr. Najat Saliba, Firas Hamdan, Dr. Lies Jradi, Wadah Sadiq, Dr. Halima Kakour, Paula Yakubian, amongst a handful of others, staged a sit-in to protest the hijacking of the parliament by the Speaker and the other parties for failing to implement Articles 49, 74 and 75 of the Constitution and allow continuous voting. The Lebanese constitution allows for and in fact requires the parliament to hold successive sessions until a president is elected, to circumvent a power void and allow the country to return to governance. In a press conference held inside the parliament at the start of the sit-in yesterday, Milham Khalaf said it was his constitutional responsibility to defend the constitution and that he would remain inside the parliament with Najat Saliba and others until the speaker agreed to hold successive voting sessions.
اليوم الديمقراطية في لبنان بخطر. الديمقراطية في لبنان بخطر كون المؤسسات يمكن اليوم عم تتعطل بالدرجة انه لا تستقيم مع الحياة العامة.
وجودنا اليوم هو للتأكيد على 3 أمور. أولاً هذا حق اليوم دستوري وفق المواد الدستورية ال 74 و 75 بوجودنا داخل الهيئة العامة بجلسات متتالية لانتخاب رئيس جمهورية.
هذا المجلس عم يخدم بعض الأشخاص على حساب كل الناس وعم يعطي الأولوية للفراغ على حساب الناس وعلى حساب المؤسسات. مش مقبول بقى هذا الشيء.
So why is the Speaker and other members of the existing ruling elite abusing the Constitution and refusing to hold successive voting sessions? Well, it's clear they don't have the numbers to elect the candidate they want, and so are using bullying tactics to wear down their opponents in the hope they will get frustrated and surrender to their will. The power blocks I'm referring to include that of Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah's Hezbollah party, Gibran Basil's Free Patriotic Movement, and Birri's Amal Party, as well in some respects as Jumblat's Progressive Socialist Party. However, these parties are also in dispute amongst themselves, with Hezbollah wanting to nominate Sleiman Frangieh, the head of the Marda Party, and the grandson of former 1970s President Sleiman Frangieh Sr. However, Gibran Bassil refuses to endorse Frangieh because he wants Hezbollah to endorse his candidacy for the president instead. But Hezbollah is reluctant to do this, as it would jeopardise its relationship with its primary ally, Nabi Berri, a fellow Shiite, and Bassil's and Aoun's perpetual political foe. Hezbollah wants Frangieh because he is a Syrian and Iranian sympathiser, and as such would be conciliatory on any decisions involving Syria and Iran. More importantly, though, they believe Frangieh would not submit to American threats. Bassil believes Hezbollah owes him because he was the one who convinced former President Aoun and the Free Patriotic Movement members to align with Hezbollah back in 2006, which boosted Hezbollah's popularity amongst the Christians across Lebanon. But this controversial alliance ultimately cost Bassil dearly, being sanctioned for corruption by the US in November 2020 under the Magnitsky Act. However, this power play is costing the Lebanese people dearly, as Firas Hamdan explained from inside a darkened parliamentary chamber yesterday.
اليوم بظل هذا الوضع، بظل ضرر 50,000، بظل كل موت اللي عم نتعرض له على المستشفيات وبالطرقات وبكل المحلات، وجودنا اليوم هو استكمال لمسار بلشناه ب 17 تشرين، وهذا الشيء عم يترافق مع ضغط شعبي موجود جوا وموجود بالاغتراب وموجود بكل المحلات.
The question posed by another Change MP, Dr. Ilyas Jaradi, who also participated in the sit-in, possibly summarises the situation most poignantly.
السؤال مش ليش نحن هون، السؤال ليش ما بنكون هون. إذا كنا برا هو السؤال اللي يطرح، إذا بنكون هون نحن عم نقوم بواجبنا، بنرجع بنقول إنه الوطن هو فوق الدستور وفوق القانون. لما يكون التلاعب بالدستور بهالشكل، السؤال اللي يطرح اللي برا ليش هو برا مش هون.
We will keep a close eye on developments and continue to keep you informed so you will always know the facts and the truth and make your own judgments wisely. Thanks for watching, and please remember to share and comment so we can spread the truth widely. See you from Beirut soon.